Hello, hello, hello. This is Danielle here with the Black Healing Matters podcast, where we give you ideas to hopefully get you one step closer to your healing. And today, man, I am so excited to bring to you something I've been working on for a while. I feel like this has been a real divine manifestation. And today I have our very first guest for you. Yay! And like I said, I'm really excited. We've been planning this, and I mean, the way it all came together, it's, like I said, it's a divine appointment. So today I am so excited to introduce to you Ken AfriKen. All right. You're like, who is Ken AfriKen? Well, Ken AfriKen is the East African entrepreneur. He calls himself. Ken is actually 26 years old, and he's actually been HIV positive for more than a decade of his life. Interesting, yeah? So we're going to definitely talk about that. In addition to all that, as I said, he's the East African entrepreneur, right? So he has two companies. Right now, he's got the African clothing line, which you can find at africanclothing.com, and he'll tell you more about that, which has an awesome mission we're going to hear about. As well, you know, he was born and raised in Kenya and came to the U.S. at 10 years old. So I think he's definitely got a life story to tell, and I'm excited to hear about his story. But I didn't mention his second business. I forgot, I'm sorry. His second business, what is the Uzima Fitness Training.com. So he runs a gym in California. So without further ado, I bring to you, Black Healing Matters family, Mr. Ken AfriKen. Ken, are you there?
Yes, I am. How's it going, everyone? I'm so excited to be the first guest. This is exciting.
Yes, it is exciting for sure. So, Ken, I want to jump right into it. First of all, though, before we start, can you tell me a little bit? You said you call yourself the Positive AfriKen. Why the Positive AfriKen?
So the Positive AfriKen, I believe it's a perfect title for myself. So every time you hear the term African when we're speaking, it's spelled A-F-R-I and then Ken, K-E-N. So it's the Positive AfriKen. So the reason why I love this name so much, and I give it to myself because I'm proud of it, is because first, it has my name Ken. Second, I'm African. And third, I'm positive. So I'm positive in the fact that I am HIV positive. And the second part is that I'm positive about it. So I like to spread the love about and the knowledge about being HIV positive. So that's why I really love that, because it really describes who I am all in one name or title, whatever you want to call it. Awesome.
That is awesome. Being positively positive about being positive. Really cool. So let's just jump right into it, Ken. I know you got a lot going on. You're a busy man, so we're gonna keep this brief, but hopefully deep. Okay. So I'm gonna give you the loaded question here. Okay.
Sounds good.
You know, this is Black Healing Matters, and you know, we really focus on kind of practical tips and ideas to help heal, particularly the Black community. So I want to ask you, what process and or modalities did you use to heal yourself, your body, mind, and spirit?
So that is a very loaded question, and I love it. But I'll start off by sharing a little bit about my story, which was, you know, I was diagnosed with HIV, and with that came it was kept a secret in our family. So what that told me was I was less than. I mean, not what that told me was what I translated it to be is I'm less than everyone out there, and I'm diseased and something is wrong with me. So medically, I was healed. I wasn't cured, but I was healed. I had nothing to worry about. My life was not in danger. But emotionally, mentally, I was not. I was very, very damaged, I would say, by my own doing, by the way, not and what I thought the world would think of me. And so the process that I took to really come out of this was very simple. I started off by completely changing my environment, and I did that by not necessarily changing my environment physically, but mentally. So what I did was I read books. Books was my development. Books was my life-saving to get me out of the damaging thoughts and talks that were going on in my own head, and how I would translate what the world was doing into my own head, into damaging me even more. So books was the number one thing, and I read some great books. And then the second step was I started going to seminars. And these seminars, they're a little bit on the pricier end, but they put you with a group of people who are on the same mission as you, and that is transforming by itself. And then I took it up a notch to go to higher end seminars. Actually, no, before that, I chose to go into therapy because of one of the books that I read. As an African, I always thought therapy was for people who were kind of like crazy. That's what I thought therapy was, to be honest. And after reading the book, I'm like, oh my God, therapy is for people like me who just have regular questions like, how do I handle marriage? How do I handle this? How do I handle school? How do I handle work? And you have somebody who's giving you counsel, not their opinion. Something that's not based off somebody's fears and beliefs, but based off like counsel, like letting you see the bigger picture in everything. And that was powerful when I was able to go to therapy and start looking at life at a different aspect. So being able to read books and then taking these opinions and breaking them apart and be able to live with them. Seminars were amazing. They got me to really break through a lot of things. And then therapy, and then after that, I started going to even like top-notch groups such as A-Fest. And A-Fest is like a personal development environment that's a family. And the level of vulnerability as soon as you enter the group such as A-Fest is just amazing. And you're allowed to be yourself. And you're allowed to be the positive African without any judgment, and people just acknowledge you and give you hugs. So when you go back to the world, it doesn't really matter what people say. So I'm at that place now, as a 26-year-old man, I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, if this disease didn't kill me, your opinion won't kill me. But it wasn't like that. It never was like that. And it took time to get there. So that was my little process that I like to share with people, but it started with books, and that really changed how I communicated with myself. It opened up a whole new world that my parents weren't even able to give to me because they don't have it. So books gave me life of like reading about people who are successful and what they went through, and I chose to follow some of their paths. So yeah, that's my process.
Wow, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of good stuff in there. First of all, kudos to you for not just accepting what most would consider like a death sentence, even though you were healed, like you mentioned, the judgment, which we actually talked about a few episodes ago. Judgment, that's killer. Yeah. So I just wanted to elaborate a bit. So do you have do you remember any of particular of the books that you read that really were impactful for you?
Oh my God, they're all very impactful. The number one book I highly, highly recommend, especially for anyone in their early 20s or late 20s, is a book called The Defining Decade. It's written by a therapist. Her name is Meg J. That's the book that got me to enter therapy. It's a very, very powerful book. Meg J, The Defining Decade. It's a powerful book. That I just really love that book. This my all-time favorite book is called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. This book is above and beyond. You would think it was written yesterday, but it was written in 1930 something. And it's in the audio version of it is so cool because he's having a conversation with the devil. It's a remarkable book about how the devil utilizes you. It's hands down. I love it. I really do love it. And then after that, if you know Napoleon Hill, his famous book is Think and Grow Rich. And the last one I'll leave you guys is The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, which is written by Vision Lakiani, who is a founder of Mind Valley and A-Fest. Now, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind is just one-of-a-kind book. I will let you read it and let me know what you think about it, because it's just one-of-a-kind book.
Wow. And who did you say that last book was? Code of the Extraordinary Mind?
Yeah, by Vision Lakiani. So he's the founder of a online education. He's trying to hack it. No, he's not trying. He is hacking education, and he's bringing education on a new level. He lives by. He's changing education to bring it into a new light, and it's wonderful. So even if you just go look up who Vision Lakiani is in Mind Valley, you'll be impressed.
Mind Valley. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So I got The Defining Decade by Meg J.
Yes.
Okay. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Oh my God, favorite book.
Okay. As well, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
And The Code of the Extraordinary Mind.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Those sound like good books, and they're all available on audio as well for all the audio files out there.
When I say read books, I talk about audiobooks. So I try to read them, but I'm a better listener, and I'm in the car a lot. So that's actually one of the things I read from another book, that they said you can get with how much time, especially in California, you spend in a car, you can get a college degree within a year. So I read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of books. Excuse my language.
Got it. Totally. Yeah. And I just want to ask you a quick question about therapy. You mentioned that therapy is kind of like it's a loaded term. It comes with a lot of judgment. And so, how did you deal with the judgment from, maybe friends or family members when, you decided to start doing therapy?
I didn't tell people that I was doing therapy until there was a change going on. So they would ask me, what's going on? What's different? And this is a cool thing. Once you start showing up different in life, people want to know what's going on. They want a piece of the action, right? And I will tell them, I'll be very vulnerable and tell them therapy has changed my life. And a lot of them think that it's because I'm HIV positive is why I'm going to a therapist. No, I'm going because I'm having a hard time making decisions. I don't know if I'm making a decision based off fear or based off faith. Yeah. That's why I'm going there. I'm trying to dig deeper within myself. So, and I would correct them on that. And I've actually gotten like a lot of my clients to take therapy, and actually look into it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Really? So it's I highly recommend therapy.
Wow, that's great. And I mean, it's like you're changing the narrative around therapy. So I think that's a phenomenal thing in itself.
Yeah, because there's a difference between approaching your mom, your friends, or somebody that you know about an opinion. Let's say something like, should I move to New York, right? Like your mom and friends will give you an opinion that has to do with their fears and their beliefs. And when you go to therapy or counseling, as it's called, they counsel you. They have you see the pros and the cons, and they really have no personal investment in it compared to a friend or a family matter who would be like, if you go to New York, I'm going to miss you. And they're telling you, even if they want to, their subconscious is based off the fear that I'm not going to spend time with you, or, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it's they know somebody, or they know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that moved to New York, and they froze from frostbite. So they don't want you to go, right? So they're giving you an opinion, and this is from another book. The difference between opinion and counsel is very big, and that's what therapy offers. It offers counsel, not opinions.
That's deep right there. Therapy offers counsel, not opinions. Wow. Thank you for that one. That's a really important distinction, like you said. Those books, man.
Yeah. I love them. I really do. I stopped sharing my opinions. I try to not share my opinions unless they're welcomed.
Well, your opinions are welcomed here, okay? I just want to let you know.
Awesome.
Feel free, okay? Also, you mentioned seminars, and then you kind of mentioned as well high-end seminars. And so, first of all, what led you down that path to start even considering that, like going to a seminar with a bunch of people could actually be effective or helpful for you?
If you know any African man, we're after one thing, and that's money. So what happened was, I joined this seminar thinking it was going to be a way to help me make more money, which 100% did. 100% did. And it's a seminar called MITT. It's in LA. It's Mastery in Transformational Training. But there's also other ones called Landmark all over the world, and they're along the same thing. But I entered MITT thinking it was going to be a thing that's going to help me, make more money. And I went to the first program, and I got hit with everything I was reading in the books. It was like personal development and therapy on steroids.
Wow.
And it was just great digging deep into who you are and finding out who you are. And there's 3 courses. There's basic, advanced, and the legacy program. And when I was going through all of them, I was pretty numb, and I was like not numb, but I was hearing everything, but I wasn't able to move or take action because I was so confused. I've never been able to look at these aspects of my life. I didn't know I was making decisions from these part of my lives out of like resentment towards old family members, and I didn't know I was making decisions from back when I was a 3-year-old. I didn't know that. I'm finding that out, so I'm like frozen, and so that was the first. That was one of the first seminars, and I really recommend that because you really get to dig deep, and there's nowhere to hide. For some of us, I know I love to hide when things get hard. Get me my cave. I want to go hide, but
yes.
But like MITT didn't allow you, and you got feedback. You get feedback from your friends, from the people that you just met, and how you're showing up in the world, and I had to after I left the seminar, I gotta change. I get to show up the way I want to show up, and I want to share a moment with you. I remember I was driving to this one of the last days of the seminar for the advanced course, and the song by Big Sean came on. One Man Could Change the World, and I started crying, and I wouldn't stop crying, and because I finally realized that I could be the man that changes the world. And ever since then, I've been acting as if.
Wow.
So, and I attract people like you. Now we're doing a podcast and sharing my thoughts and everything. And I think that's so powerful. So those books, those seminars and everything, they get you to start listening to the same songs that you were listening, but now you're actually listening to the words and say, oh, Big Sean got a message here. I thought this was just a really good song and touching, but no, he's speaking to me. One man can change the world. And yeah, so that was a very powerful moment for me. I'll never forget that day.
Yeah, I think all of us on this kind of healing journey, doing the inner work and really kind of tuning into what's happening on the inside, I think every one of us has some of those defining moment type stories where you absolutely know that something has changed, something has shifted. Like you said, listening to the same song you've heard a million times, and then one day you hear it and it brings you to tears. Yeah, that is definitely a powerful shift that happened. So, as a result of healing. But you mentioned as well something that I think the listeners should be keen to, was that, and you kind of mentioned it in passing, was that healing helped you make more money. Is that right? Did I hear that correctly?
Let me tell you. Because it really did. It really, really did. Understanding that I'm worth something, not only did it make me more money, but it made me attract different higher end people to date. So
You
like
hear
when you
that,
start,
guys? I
when you
hope you
start
listening.
understanding your worth, right? When you start understanding what your worth, you're not chasing these girls who are playing games with your mind. You're chasing. You're going after women now. You know, women who are game changers now, and your pockets start changing because you believe that your services are worth this. So I had the biggest year when I was doing it. I had my biggest year financially ever, and I was so deep into it that I gave myself fully. Because when you know your worth, you don't give anything less, and you don't receive anything less. When you're showing up halfway, you get halfway the pay, if that.
Wow, that's deep. That's really powerful. Wait, can you repeat that one more time? You said when you give your all, you get. Can you say that one more time?
Let me see if I can remember. But if you fully fully give yourself, like with my personal training job and my clothing company, I give my all. I don't leave anything on the line. And what that means is the things that I'm scared of, like getting on camera, getting on, vulnerably speaking about being HIV positive, knowing that people can attack me and destroy me. That's what I mean by fully giving yourself, not doing it when it's comfortable, not working long hours. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you fully give to yourself, you're terrified, you have no money, and you say, Mom, I need money to follow my dream. And she gives it to you. That's what I'm talking about, fully showing up. People think I'm talking about just going to work. No, I'm talking about fully showing up in every essence. You see a pretty girl, she's just working everything out. You say, you're gorgeous. Can I take you out? That's fully showing up, and you get that back. You will get that back. When you show up with that kind of presence, a woman is not going to turn you down. Your mom's going to say, okay, I have this much money and that's all I have. I'll give it to you. And that actually happened. My mom was my first investor in my clothing company. And I chose not to go to college, and she invested into my clothing company. I'll never forget that. And that's why this is my third time launching this clothing company, because of her. She said, I believe in you, not with words, but by her giving me all hard work and money. And I don't come from a very privileged financially end. But yeah, so I fully showed up for her, and she said, yeah, I want to invest in you because you're going places.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you on your third launch of this company. I'm on your mailing list, and I have seen some of the designs, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I got on the mailing list, because it's like I need some of that in my life. So, real quick as we wrap up here, first off, do you have any kind of final words of advice for anyone who is kind of on the fence about whether they should go through this whole, initiate this whole healing process, and, how they can actually take those first steps into healing?
If they're on the line, ask yourself why. Why are you even on the line, right? And once you find out why, you will have your answer. It's for my family. It's for me. I just don't want this relationship anymore. I just wanted to get better care of myself. Once you find out why, you won't be on the line no more. You have crossed the line. And it starts with a little step of belief. So just take the first step and just step forward, and I promise you, it's just go visit any friend that has a baby that's learning how to walk, and watch the baby try to walk, and watch how many times they fall, and watch how many times they laugh, and have a good time while they're trying to walk. And understand that's the journey you're about to start, but with yourself and loving yourself. And watch that kid in a year or 2 years running, jumping, screaming. Understand that will be you too, with that much freedom.
Ooh, putting it down. That's deep. Like, that's awesome. I hope you've been taking notes, folks, because Ken just Yeah, he just dropped some nuggets here. I'm taking notes. I haven't even looked up since we started recording. But Ken, I'm so thankful to you for your not just for your time and energy, which is awesome, but for the value that you bring, the story that you're showing to the world. It's a very unique and powerful story, and anyone who is dealing with anything similar can definitely see and look to you as a light. So thank you for that. And standing in your truth and authenticity and honesty, like I commend you. Really, it's an honor. And so,
you're calling, because with you calling, you're giving me a platform to stand up and talk. So thank you for following your dream, and I acknowledge you for that. And that's because you had to do healing to get where you're at right now. I know how hard it is to be vulnerable too, and be okay with failure, which is part of it. And I love it. I love you showing up the way you're showing up too. Thank you. I acknowledge you.
Much appreciated. I received that. Thank you, Ken. And as we close out here, where can the folks, connect with you? What have you got coming up? Give them the, where can we support you? Where can we show you love and connect with you if the listeners would like to do so?
So guys, afrikenclothing.com. The company will be up by the end of the year. We'll be up by the end of the year. You can order t-shirts. So it's AfriKen, AFRIKEN clothing.com. And then you can also find me on Instagram, which is at Uzima Fitness Training. Uzima is spelled UZIMA Fitness Training, or at Ken AfriKen. And you can also add me on Facebook, Ken AfriKen, and I'm the only one named Ken AfriKen. So go ahead and add me on Facebook. I share videos, and I have a YouTube page, The Positive AfriKen. Yes, I totally forgot about that. And please, I just bought a new camera. I'm excited to get out there and just get fully vulnerable and fully show up. And follow me on there. It's going to be an intense journey and fun one, because I'm ready to go. I get to show up. It's for everyone. So yeah.
Keep shining. And yes, I will definitely be tuning into your YouTube channel, because y'all, Ken has a wonderful energy and an awesome, beautiful smile. So I'm excited to see that.
Thank you.
No problem. And again, I really want to thank you for your time. This man, I gotta tell you, this man he said he wakes up at 3 a.m. That's what happens when you're living in your passion, right? That's what happens when you're in the funnel of favor right there. You want to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to attack your dreams. So and obviously he's got plenty of things to pack his day. So we're going to let him go on that note. And again, thank you very much, Ken. And I hope that we can do this again.
I'm so excited to do this again. We're going to do this again.
All when right. You pinky promise.
Yes, I pinky promise. All the way from California, we're making it happen. Awesome. We're making it happen because I'm excited for your mission. Black healing is important. We're taking it to the next level.
Definitely. And on that note, y'all, as we say, as always, stay blessed and Black healing matters.
Bye-bye, guys.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.